I'm in Hawaii at the Big Island, and I am visiting a very special place that has to do with quilting. So I cannot wait to show you what I have found here. This hotel, which Corey helped me with the name? Mauna Kea is the Mauna Kea Beach Hotel, and we have had so much fun, and we drove out of our way to make sure that this was a destination on our trip to the Big Island of Hawaii. So let me go ahead and show you around a little bit, but let me tell you a little bit of background information. In 1960, Rockefeller actually built this hotel, but part of what he loved to do was to preserve artwork and to preserve pieces of art for people to see around the hotel. And let me tell you, it's phenomenal. But one of the things that he included in that was actually Hawaiian quilts. And he has 30 Hawaiian quilts that are actually here that are displayed for everyone to see. And I don't know if people understand how beautiful they are, but they're amazing. So let's go ahead and go check this out. Here we have a gorgeous Hawaiian quilt. Rockefeller really wanted most of the quilts to actually be in pastel colors, which isn't as traditional with the Hawaiian quilts. They were bright colors of red, blue, yellow, orange, but you'll notice that this one is actually remade. The original 30 quilts, they were actually decayed, and from being out in the weather, because this is an open lobby area. So let's maybe pan down real quickly. This open lobby area, the sea, the winds of the sea, and the different elements of the weather, actually a lot of these quilts destroyed, and so these were reproductions of the original quilts, although there still are some original quilts here. So, and the woman that was Hawaiian that was commissioned to do this and to outsource it, she definitely snuck in some pieces that were brighter colors of reds and other things. So let's go ahead and look at this. You can see here that this was hand appliqued, and that this piece repeats itself and it folds over like a paper snowflake. So you can see that there's repetition here, and if you folded this into half, that side is exactly the same. Folded this half up, it absolutely matches, and then you folded this into a quarter triangle or 1/8 of a triangle. All you would do is you would stack 8 layers of the quilt fabric, fold it like that, cut it out, and this would give you the design. And then that's opened way up as one whole piece, and then you are quilting this down. Another thing that's typical here is the echo quilting that is happening out around the actual applique there. So let's go ahead and take a look at some more of these. We actually have more that are on both sides, on 2 levels of the floors, and there's some kapa, which is the original kind of fabric that they have here in Hawaii. Here is another reproduction of the original quilts. This is definitely fresh and new, but it's for sure been hand appliqued, hand quilted. Let's go down a little bit further. And a little bit down here. Here's another quilt. And you can see this one has some damage, a little bit of damage to it, but these were more of the original pastel colors that Rockefeller wanted. More of a light pale green that he wanted in all of these quilts. And you can see the beautiful quilting and everything that's been done to this, and it's just a very, very lovely quilt. I absolutely adore this. So let's come on around and go around the other side, and you can see that there's actually 2 levels here for the quilt. We've got another one right here. Has anyone been to this hotel in Hawaii? It's $750 a night to stay here in a room. And that's a bit over my budget, but you can come here and see the quilts, and they actually give tours on Saturdays. So this one right here is a beautiful pink quilt that you can see. And it's just absolutely stunning with the center motif. Over here, this quilt is actually bordered, this orange one right here. So we're walking across this atrium. And you can see here that we've got the applique motif here that was folded into 8s and then cut out as 8 layers of fabric, unfolded, applique down. But in addition to this, they had a border that was bordered along here. And for the Hawaiian people, the border actually represented many different spiritual things within all the elements of their quilts. but the border actually represented how they felt about life, and that life is a continuous circle, a circle that continues on from life and into death, and that it's continuous and forever. So it's really beautiful, but that's definitely a piece that signifies that. Let's go down here, see a few more pieces. We've got a lovely green piece here that actually has the pineapple, which is very significant here in Hawaii as the pineapple. And you can see how they actually hand quilted the different pieces of the dimples of the pineapple. Corey, would you mind coming up close to this one? But you can see that hand quilting, and these are absolutely hand quilted stitches, and for the quilting and also for the appliqué. One really neat thing that is significant in this quilt is there is actually a circle and a hole left in the center of the quilt. And Hawaiian folklore and culture, sometimes the hole is significant, that they believe that there can be ancestors on the other side that have actually passed away, that then if they leave this hole open, it's welcoming them to come back and help take care of them in their lives and to be with them, and which is a beautiful symbolism. I absolutely love it. But lots of nature that was inspired with many of their quilts. Let's go ahead and go down and look at this one right here. But Corey, you might want to pan down and see some of these other ones down here. This really is just a beautiful, beautiful treasure of a location to come and visit and to see and everything else. So let's look at this yellow one. Nature actually really inspired a lot of the quilts here in Hawaii. And so you can see here they're celebrating actually the sun, if you can see that. Or perhaps one way this is the sun, another way this could be grass that's climbing up, and some of their native stuff, I'm sorry. And then we've also got some palm trees that are coming up here, which is a beautiful, elegant palm tree. But once again, remember that this is like making paper snowflakes, where you actually fold this whole section over to here, because it completely reflects it, then fold this up here, and that puts it into fourths, and then you fold this piece right over here, and you have a triangle. And all of those layers of fabric are folded into a triangle, and they're carefully pinned very precisely, just pinned together. Then this is cut out, the silhouette of this shape is then cut out on that triangle point right here. Then the fabric is unfolded, and you discover what your repeating pattern looks like. And we're actually going to do a tutorial on that and teach you guys how to actually make this type of quilt. It's just fascinating, whether you want to make one or not. It's just very, very, very fascinating. But I think that this is a beautiful quilt. You can also see here on the palm trees, the quilting that they did to give it a feeling of the palms and where it's going across, like the branches. And over here, I would think that these are coconuts. There's many other different fruit and things that they celebrate here, but I would assume that that's coconut. And then how they do the echo quilting. And the echo quilting is a symbolism of how things reverberate and ripple into other people's lives and out into the world. So the echo quilting is very, very traditional here in Hawaii. So I hope this gives you a flavor. Actually, Corey, let's go ahead and show them the kapa upstairs, because that was the original cloth and the original bedding that was preserved here. So let's go ahead and go this way. There's somebody cleaning, but that's okay. Here's another original quilt that's in that pale yellow that Rockefeller wanted, but beautiful pattern. I think that's one of my favorite patterns here. But let's go upstairs in this open area. The hotel again was built in the 1960s. We are actually hoping to do some snorkeling after this, so we have our swimsuits on. Let's go ahead and show you. You can see over here, this I would think is more of a Chinese piece, where it's a cloth that they had found from China or Thailand or some other place. But the kapa cloths are actually more unique to Hawaii. They did not have resources in Hawaii for cotton. They didn't have cotton plants. They didn't have anything. When the missionaries actually came over to Hawaii, in what year do you think, Corey?
1819.
1819 are in there. They introduced the Hawaiians to cotton fabric, which they loved. And that's when they started making Hawaiian quilts sometime after that. The missionaries were very adamant about teaching the Hawaiian people how to sew and many other different hand trades. But this is a kapa cloth. It is actually made from a mulberry tree. That's what resource they had to make clothing. And it's a cream type of crisp cloth. It's definitely nothing that's soft, but this is what they would use as a bed covering. They would use it for clothing, and it really was a scratchy kind of cloth that you would put on top of you. But you can see on here that they also decorated their cloth. So they would use different means of a orange to brown colored, orange, brown, and black, typically on their kapa cloths to make patterns. So let's go ahead and come on down here and I'll show you some more. Yeah, let's go down and see this one down here. These kapa cloths are very rare and they have been preserved, and it was important to Rockefeller to actually preserve these kapa cloths. But it's so exciting that he wanted to preserve quilts too. So here's another piece of cloth. Corey, what would you compare this to? This type of cloth, like the fabric and the texture of it. It's more than a canvas, it's very rigid. But you can see here once again, they're using patterns here of the brown, the orange, and the black dyes to decorate this cloth. And there's one more over here I'd like to show you. One thing that they really did with their kapa cloths is they decorated them with actually bamboo that was cut in half, and then they would carve out the bamboo with a certain pattern along that bamboo, and they would dip that pattern into ink, and then they would stamp the cloth as along the way. So you can come in here and actually see, and this is a very, very typical method of how they actually adorned their kapa cloths with the ink and with different patterns. So this is very, very, very traditional of what the Hawaiian people did to decorate their cloth. And you can see in here, Corey, if you show up a little bit closer, the texture, I don't know if you can see that very well, the texture of the cloth, how rough it was, and even, I mean, everything about it. We are going to do a video of going to a place where they actually still make kapa, and we're gonna see some kapa that is being made there and be able to purchase some. And remember, we're gonna come home with some extra treasures, and part of one of those treasures is gonna be a piece of kapa, and then I'm shipping these things out to people. So be sure to share and be sure to show lots of love. Let me know what questions you have about this hotel. It is the I don't feel like I can say these things right. Mauna Kea Beach Hotel here in the Big Island of Hawaii. So thumbs up for what Rockefeller preserved and kept here in Hawaii to preserve this beautiful culture that he had so much deep respect for. So I know I'm certainly enjoying this, and I hope all of you are. We actually have been doing a week-long series of quilting on the Big Island of Hawaii, and if you want to go ahead and watch those videos, be sure to subscribe, and there should be some links to go ahead and follow this video and to follow the rest of the series of this video that's our week-long series. We've really met with some very, very special people throughout the week. So love you guys tons. Let me know any questions you have. We will also have a tutorial series on how to make a Hawaiian quilt block for a pillow, and we will have a free downloadable pattern of that quilt block for you so that you can go ahead and make that yourself at home. So I just appreciate all the beautiful culture that is everywhere around the world, but I have really enjoyed the culture here in Hawaii. Aloha! Aloha!